see you, not us. Start applauding. This is your buddy, John Moorcroft.
Give it up for Ben, everybody. All right, let's have a look at you then, see what we got. I gotta tell you, without a doubt, the best looking audience I've seen since, well, I can't see shit from up here, so, except for you, Jesus, mercy, man. Let me ask you guys a quick question before I get started. Hypothetically, walking down the street, you see two people approaching you. And I'm going to tell you, one guy's deaf and one guy's blind. Quick show of hands, how many people think they can tell which one's which? All right, it's a cheap laugh, but it works for me. I want to start off with a true story. I mean, some of these guys tell jokes, that works for them, that's great. But I want to start off with a true story for you. A couple weeks ago, I was walking through Union Station. It's a big place downtown Toronto. And I'm moving nice and slow, it's rush hour, I got my sunglasses on, I got my cane out in front of me, and a frantic voice comes just off from the left. And it's obviously a mother-daughter, and the mother says, "Careful, honey, he's deaf." And ordinarily, I would just let this go, but this day I stop and I turn in the direction of the sound, and the daughter says, "Oh no, he's not wrong, because he's looking right at you." And honest to God, the woman comes right up to me, puts her hand in my face, and starts going, "Oh my God, can you see me?" Of course, I look at her and go, "No, I'm deaf, remember?" And she's upset with me, and she goes, "Young man, you are confusing my daughter." And I mistakenly said, "Confusing your fucking daughter? For God's sakes, you're confusing me." Now she's totally offended. And she looks at me, she goes, "Can you hear the words coming out of your mouth?" And I said, "No, because I'm also blind." This is true, right? She goes, "I can see that. What kind of idiot did you take me for?" I said, "Jesus Murphy, lady, I didn't think I had these kind of decisions to make this early in the day. Somewhere between dumb, blonde, and moron, but you make your own decisions here, right?" But I must confuse a hell of a lot of people. A short while after that, I was coming up out of the subway one night, and there's two young guys standing at the top of the staircase waiting for me. And I get to the top of the staircase, and the one guy looks at me and says, "Hey, asshole, you got a lot of nerve imitating a blind guy this time of night." This is true. And his buddy, not wanting to be left out of the conversation, looks at me and goes, "Yeah." Yeah. And so I looked at him and said, "So if I was imitating a blind guy another time of night, it would be okay?" And so we had a little exchange, and let me tell you, nothing truly defines word attitude until you met a blind guy with a few beers in him, and I had 7. I figured it's a good night for a confrontation. So I walked up to this guy and said, "What the hell makes you think I'm faking this whole thing?" And he said to me, "Because it's fucking midnight, asshole, and it's pitch black out, and if you were blind, you wouldn't be able to see anything." And I said, "Thanks for the observation." But he confused me, and I had to say to him, "So, are you trying to tell me that if it was 12 noon, a blind person could see? Or are you trying to tell me that I'm only allowed to be blind certain hours of the day?" And all of a sudden, a third guy jumps into the foray. And this was a mountain of a man, and he would block out the sun if I could see it. And honestly, the guy looks at me and he goes, "Buddy." And at that point, I'm sitting there thinking, God, I sure hope farts have lumps, do you know what I mean? And honest to God, and I always tell this part of the story because he looks at me and he said, "I just want to apologize to my friends. I can be a real asshole sometimes." And I shook his hand, I said, "Thank you very much, great guy." We had a quick chat, and I turned to walk away and tripped over the garbage can on the side of the road. But